Eagles.
And/or, as I usually say, it is Friday Eve, Thursday night for those who like to keep track of the days of the week. And more importantly, we are exactly one episode away from episode 200, a milestone. And where will we celebrate that milestone? Well, of course, we'll do it at Tampa Joe's at 9316 Anderson Road in beautiful Tampa, Florida. But more importantly, we'll be doing it with the entire gang of Philly to South. And yes, the mouth of the South is on the line. He'll be on here with us momentarily. Mike Klein, of course, my great buddy, is on there. And lots to talk about with Mikey and his group at Philly to South. He has, last time I think I spoke to him, was some 25,000 plus. I might be exaggerating that number, but it's okay. Mike will give us the actual update. But nonetheless, there's a lot of supporters, obviously, for Philly to South. It continues to grow. And if you're coming in from Philly or you happen to be around in the Tampa area, of course, you guys can join us over at 9316 Anderson Road. Again, Tampa Joe's, we will all be there live. I will tell you the exact lineup of the people we'll have up there. But before we get the show underway, don't forget to listen to the best morning show, the John Kincaid Show on 97.5, The Fanatic, from 6 to 10 in the morning. Those guys will not only get you laughing, give you all the important information from the Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, and of course, our beloved Eagles and the Philadelphia Union. But more importantly, because they put a great show together from 6 to 10 in the morning, you guys can visit 975.com, the website of Fanatic, and watch the entire show lineups. But please do me a favor. And while you're there, don't forget to say hello to John Kincaid as he continues his treatments, and he is doing a fantastic job. So don't forget 97.5, The Fanatic, with the John Kincaid Show in the morning from 6 to 10. And with that being said, we have an amazing guest next week on the show, Thursday night, September 14th at 8 o'clock. I will reveal that a little bit later on as well. You guys, and I will say it is a woman, and you guys love her from maybe a couple years ago being back in Philly. So if that isn't a hint enough, I will tell you exactly on the other side. Ryan F. joins me down here in Florida. He'll be live with me over at Tampa Joe's, along with the slew of guests that I will bring up as well. So stay tuned, and I can't wait to celebrate episode 200. It is going to be epic on Sunday, but tonight it is episode 199. Mikey Klein is on the phone with us. He'll be on with us momentarily. Once again, Ryan F., and of course, my lovely producer over in Studio B, taking care of everything behind the scenes here. And with that being said, I'm Angel Martinez, and welcome to Broad Street South. And with me this evening, it is the co-hostess, I guess, with the mostest. It is Ryan F. Ryan, how are you this evening?
Angel, NFL is back. Football is back. As you can see above me, my private helicopter dropped me off just moments ago, actually. So Chiefs down early, no Kelsey, no Jones. I don't expect them to win. I know people will say, where's the optimism? But, you have two of your best players on the sidelines. In fact, one's on the sideline. The other one's in a damn skybox in the building watching the team that he's supposed to be playing for. But don't get me started. Mike Klein, obviously, on with us tonight. Let's just delve into what we're going to get into. But thank God football's back.
Okay. Now, first of all, let me just say that I am so disappointed because the one line that I always wait for week in and week out wasn't said. Let's do this again. Joining me this evening is Ryan F.
Angel, I'm Ryan F. It's great to be with everybody this evening.
There it is. See, I wait for it every single week, and I get disappointed. And don't forget to do it on Sunday. That's one of the big key points. So to make sure you don't forget to do that on Sunday. But listen, before we get Mikey Klein here on the phone, obviously the president, CEO, the man extraordinaire, that is Mike Klein from Philly to South. And thanks to everyone who follows, obviously, the Facebook page, supports not only the club, but comes out there in numbers at Tampa Joe's. And again, if you guys are in the area, please stop by 9316 Anderson Road in beautiful Tampa, Florida. And with that being said, revealing here a couple of things. One is obviously Ronnie Gent, our NFL analyst, will be there on Sunday, so it'll be great. He also played with the Cincinnati Bengals. And speaking of Joey Burrow, we'll talk about that here momentarily. Also with the New Orleans Saints, but more importantly, with the Philadelphia Eagles, the tight end, Ronnie Gent, will be with us also from the Roger and JP show. You guys can hear him in New York from 5:30 till 9 in the morning in New York, and then also in St. Pete from 11 to 2. Roger and JP. It is Monica will be with us from 102.5 The Bone here in St. Petersburg. Monica, a huge Buffalo Bills fan, also worked for WFAN. So Monica, and it's going to be a fun day with Monica because Lord knows the guys on the show, they give her a hard time, but she just goes right through it, just like basic butter. So Monica will be joining us again from 102.5 The Bone. You guys can listen to her from 11 to 2. Also, the traffic reports in the morning, but more importantly, from 11 to 2 with Roger and JP. So she'll be out there as well, along with Ryan. And also a big one here before I get Mikey on the phone next Thursday. Now, Ryan, even though you can probably see the picture, but do you want to take a wild guess who the person is?
Well, now I got to turn my phone this way so I can see the picture. Oh, you don't even have the picture up yet.
Oh, okay, good. So you can't see it. All right. So just take a guess from a former Philly personality, is currently on TV, but not many people know that she's on TV, but not just regular TV, and what do you call that? Kind of a reality TV show.
Snooki.
Yeah, not hardly, but and way off on the guess. So Misha Johnson, if you guys remember her from CBS 3 Philly, she is currently on the 90 Day Fiance. The tell-all story will be coming out on Monday, and we will all find out whether she is engaged or not to Nicola. So if you guys haven't followed Misha Johnson, it's been the first time in a long time that she's actually been on TV and or back in the media spotlight. So Misha Johnson will be joining us next Thursday, 8 p.m. right here on Broad Street South. So that's pretty exciting. First, I guess, actress, you can say, Ryan, for us here on the network. So it should be really interesting to have her on next week. So with all those announcements being said, the man of the other hour here, joining us from Philly to the South, the president, CEO, mascot, what else? Hype man. How many other things could I use to describe this man here? But it is Mikey Klein. Mikey, thank you for joining us here live on the show this evening. Where's Mikey?
Uh-oh.
Did he put me on hold? I'm going to kill him.
Power of live TV.
Exactly. Mikey.
Let's go to the tape.
Apparently, I'm going to have to. What in the world happened? All right. See, once again, you go live, and here's what happens. He might be cut off. Oh, hold on. He sent me a message here. Oh. Says the phone keeps dropping off. All right. Give us a second as we'll get Mikey back on the line. Unbelievable. See, it's what happens. When you go live, things happen. So hang on, folks, as again, things do happen. Give me a second. We'll get Mikey back on the line here. Unfortunately, it's going to ring.
Sorry, how's this?
Now, listen, it's better. I told you stop using Metro PCS. Get a real phone.
My phone's made by Dallas Cowboy fans, so I have problems with
it. No wonder. Mikey, first of all, thanks for joining us. Obviously, the president and CEO of Philly to the South, and we expect a record-breaking crowd. Every year, Mikey, it seems like it gets bigger and bigger out there at Tampa Joe. So I would expect nothing smaller than, 600 folks this Sunday?
Yeah, it'll be like the Super Bowl. Our Facebook page has just been blowing up all year, and we got a really good board of directors now, and so I expect that it will be shoulder to shoulder. So I'm actually getting ready to put a warning out on the Facebook page because there'll be those idiot fans that think they can show up at 1:15 and get a seat for a 1 o'clock kickoff game, and that's just not going to happen anymore. We're much bigger than that. So we got 600 square feet, and we use every inch of it, and it should be a really great time. It's kind of like Christmas Eve almost for me, man, because this will be year 29. So one more, and I'll be at 30, and then I may start thinking about passing the torch down because my knees and my head can't take this much longer.
Oh, jeez. No, but listen, every year we've watched at least, we're going into year 4 over there, and it's amazing to see how every year it continues to grow, especially out there in the deck. The only thing for me, I would just say personally, because obviously I have my equipment out there, I just hope it's not raining, because usually every year when we kick off the NFL season, for some reason it comes down, even though it doesn't last long, but it's just setting everything up and then trying to shift it inside. So I'm hoping to be outside with everybody, enjoying the lovely weather, because we know it's hot here. It doesn't bother me as far as the heat, but I want to make sure obviously it doesn't rain. So as you heard, we will have Ronnie Gent will be joining us, the former New Orleans Saints, former Cincinnati Bengal, former Philadelphia Eagle will be out there. Also, Monica from 102.5 The Bone, she'll be out there with us as well from the Roger and JP show. And of course, the other breaking news, the announcement is that Misha Johnson will be on with us next Thursday, 8 p.m. So if you guys didn't catch that, she will be with us here 8 p.m. And also, thank you to everyone who listens in on Sports Radio 102.9 The Game. I do appreciate the support. The station itself keeps growing with new shows that are on there. So please take a look. Go to broadstsouth.com and you guys can see the entire lineup over on Sports Radio side. So, Mikey, this Sunday, again, we expect a win. Obviously, 4:25 start. We would expect nothing also but less than a packed house. And for those who may not be an Eagles fan, you can still go to Tampa Joe's if you guys want to eat. You just have to put up with the Birds fans. You can go over in the restaurant side and listen and watch the game there as well. On the bar, I will say, Mike, you can back me up on this one here. On the bar side, if you guys are planning on going, and everybody thinks I'm goofing around, and Mike, you know this, before the doors are open, sometimes you have people that are lined up outside. That's how quickly that bar area gets packed.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are expecting a large crowd. And I can remember, year one, we had 17 people in the club, and now, like I said, it's almost 2,500 on the Facebook memberships. And I'd say we probably have 1,200 fans here in the Bay Area. And it does just keep growing and growing and growing. And it's warms the cockles of my heart, man. I never thought that we'd get this big. But, we're attracting, all types of people. And we greatly appreciate the crossover with Broad Street South. And, we've met some really cool people. We got really tight with Vince at Philly Sports Trips, and we helped him put together this package, and it sounds like he's sold out. So, these people are just coming from everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. And, we greatly enjoy it. And I think you'll get your wish about the weather. I don't think it's going to be rainy or whatever. I went outside for lunch today. It was like 79 degrees. So I'm like, this is more like it. So, but yeah, and we got some great things planned too. We with our sponsor, our main sponsor, which is Tampa Joe's, we've secured some tickets to the Bucks game Monday night. We're going to raffle those off, and I'm only going to charge $1 because our cost is $0. So I'm not trying to whore anybody for any particular reason, but we have those. We've got a bunch of Eagles paraphernalia stuff that I've been bringing in off of eBay again, and Vince at Philly Sports Trips has graciously donated several packages that his organization put together. Like you can go, we have a bus that's going to go from the parking lot to and from the stadium, so people can ignore the parking stuff. They've got a tailgate thing going on, and then there are tickets into the game itself, which I believe all those are sold out. So Vince is very happy, and we got a great relationship with him, and we just keep bringing more people in. So we'll keep sticking them out in the patio or wherever we can put them, and it should be pretty cool. But max capacity there is about 400 according to the fire marshal. But we will get more than that. But for first timers, I always let them know that, like you said, you can't show up 15 minutes before and think you're going to get in, because that's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't. And by the way, joining us is Joey B. Joey B joined me last night on the basketball show. He's back tonight. Joey B, I appreciate it. And Joey says, I want to go to Tampa Joe's for apps and a few umbrella drinks. Joey, You need to come down. You got to, at one point or another throughout the season, you got to come down here. And he also follows it up with 79 degrees. Is that hoodie weather in Tampa? Listen, Joey, I don't know what part of Tampa that Mike was in, because the rest of us were at about 93-degree weather. So he might have been talking about breakfast more than lunch.
Could be.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, and this is kind of a cool thing too, because we've got it. We're worked out now where there's a Holiday Inn Express directly across the street from Tampa Joe's, and there's a Woodward Suites, executive suites in the parking lot with Tampa Joe's. So now that enables people, and believe me, they're taking, Lakeland, Orlando, Ocala, they're coming down and making a weekend out of it, because, you can come into town, Saturday night, go out, dinner, whatever, wake up Sunday morning there in the parking lot, walk to Tampa Joe's, and then either go home or stay. And if you have too much to drink, you can get a room. And those are two more sponsorships that I've been able to work up, and that's a nice compliment to what we're doing there. And we have the AMC 24 Theater. It's like a one iron away from the front door at Tampa Joe's. So people are making a day out of it. And Tampa Joe's is a great place, very family friendly. It's super clean, and the staff there is second to none. And in all the years I've been doing this, they are far and away the most helpful, cheerful, and appreciative staff that we've ever had. Because we're not just some type of sideshow anymore. We're an actual entity, and we're pulling people, and they tell me all the time they can see it on their Facebook and website, and people coming in looking for the Eagles fan club and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hard to believe it's been 4 years, but that's how time flies. And that's when I first met you, man. Was year one, right?
Year one. Yeah, year one when we were all over there, and it was just it's been amazing to see how much has grown over there at Tampa Joe's, to the point where I think, as much as we like to, joke around a lot with Mike Goodwin, but at this point, I think we're going to have to do an expansion out to the parking lot, out to the AMC Theater that's over there, because it keeps growing. Last year, I will say this much, for that Super Bowl party that Mike Goodwin threw, first, that was excellent. Number one, the fan support was phenomenal. It's a shame how it ended at the very end, but there was no fights. No one got, drunk. There was none of that stuff. It was such a great night. It sucked at the very end, obviously, because it was a loss. And I listen, Chiefs fan, I don't even want to hear from you. But as Ryan smiles away, but listen, I can't say enough for the support that comes in. And it's funny how many people come in from out of town and either have heard about it from the Fanatic, have either heard from word of mouth, or they reach out to you, Mikey, as far as saying, hey, I put in a Google search and you guys came up.
Yeah, no, and and I tip my hat to my VP, who does a great job, and she's much more tech savvy than I am, and she's done a lot of stuff with the Facebook page, and there's videos on there and so on and so forth, and I'm sure you've seen that video with me that the guy during the Super Bowl was like, hey, just I'm gonna turn the camera on and you go with it. That was done on one take and no script cards. So I just want you to know that, even though I'm 65 and only have half a brain, it still does function.
That's okay. Listen, the only time you'll ever scare me if you try to send a Western Union sometime while we're there. So just long as you don't do that, you're just fine. Joey B says, Joey B says the live shows from with Angel from Tampa Joe's are fun to watch. And I appreciate that, Joey. We try to make it as fun as we possibly can. Watch Sunday, Joey. We got a great lineup out there. And by the way, the upgrade on the equipment, I will say it's well worth it. So I can't wait for Sunday. It'll be fun to be out there. I'll be out there, of course, early. Again, Monica from 102.5 The Bone, she'll be out there with us from the Roger and JP show. So it's going to be a great time on Sunday. I can't wait. Somehow or another, I lost Ryan. Hopefully he'll come back.
There you go. And one more shameless plug. I am danger close with bringing Vince Papale to Tampa Joe's. Probably it looks more like it's going to be late October instead of early November, but we're really looking forward to this meet and greet. This thing has had overwhelming success and almost a done deal. But once again, these are ways that the club supports the club, and we spend money that we raise on things that we think are impactful. And another tip of the hat to Michelle last year was we adopted a family that was in the hurricane in Charlotte County. I don't know if you've seen the video, but and we raised like, I don't know, $1,500 by passing the hat around for 2 weekends, and we bought them everything that they needed to get their kitchen back to where it was. And unlike other people that say they do things and then never show any proof, we actually do. So we adopted this family, and we're going to have them up for a meet and greet. And I made them all custom T-shirts. Says I was adopted by Philly of the South, and they got little boy, little girl, and husband and wife, and so it's kind of fun. And so rather than doing something behind the scenes with that money, I mean, we're actually putting our money where our mouth is, which is good. So we try to be a little bit impactful with the community, shall we say?
Right. No, that's always good. Believe me. And Ryan, I see that you came back, but we like to see more than just your mouth, your chin, and the top of your T-shirt. So you might have to adjust your camera there a little bit.
What about now?
You might want to tilt it back just a little bit more. No, now you're going down. We don't want to see your chest. Yeah, a little more. Now, there. Hold on. Moved it too much.
Better?
No, still see this. Again, this is what happens when you go live. You see it now. We see your mouth. Tilt a little bit more, or either that, or you slide back a little bit more.
See, it says that I look fine. I'm looking at me. What about now?
No, see, that's better. At least we get to see at least your facial feature. We don't have to see the hat, but at least we get to see you. But Rick Marcus, by the way,
says, that.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the KC hat on.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He doesn't have the KC hat on.
Has he ever, Ryan, have you ever been to Missouri?
I went through it by train.
Okay. Well, that's good, because sometimes I meet Cowboy fans that can't even spell the word Texas. So, it makes me wonder.
Some more great friends of the show here checking in. Rick Marcus, ready for Eagles football. Rick, I'm pretty sure we'll be out there on Sunday. Also, Sean Kilrain. What's up, guys? Let's go Birds. And I know Sean, just like Fuji and everybody else, are all going to be freaking nuts going out there on Sunday. Of course, Eagles are not home, but nevertheless, everybody's going to go nuts. Yes, Ryan?
I have to remind all the Eagles fans who won the Super Bowl last year.
Is that a multiple choice answer?
Because here's the thing. I kept my mouth shut the whole time up until the Super Bowl. I didn't say a word. And all I got was Eagles fans busting on me. Then after the game was over, they were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
That's because I was at Tampa Joe's cleaning up, man. So I run to the air, man.
And speaking about the best man ever, Mike Goodwin checking in. Let's go Birds. So Mike, we'll be out there on Sunday. Get ready, because the fan base is coming. And Mike Goodwin, I tell you what, his staff, they're busy. They hustle. They know they have to run around all over the place. But Mike Goodwin does such a great job hosting, and his staff, second to none. And I want people to understand as well, don't wait until Eagle season. As I promote Tampa Joe's all season long, there's a reason for it, because you guys, that food is of excellent quality. So make sure that don't visit just during. We love it when you guys come down. Don't get me wrong, for football season, but Tampa Joe's is open all year round, minus a couple holidays. And on Mikey's birthday, for some reason, I don't know why they shut down for Mike Klein's birthday. I got to talk to Mike Goodwin about that. They shouldn't be shutting down a restaurant on your birthday there, Mikey.
I can't help it if I was born on Turkey Day, man. It's all good.
No, but it's all right. And Mike says he's looking forward to it. Everybody coming down. So, and Mike has been the greatest sponsor here on Broad Street South, and along with Philly to South as well. He's done an amazing job. I cannot say anything bad. Don't care what anybody says about anybody, but Mike Goodwin, I will say, cannot say a bad word about that man, because he's been upfront, honest. And I've had a lot of fun with him since the very beginning. So I'm glad to be partnered up with Mike Goodwin. Sean says, I'm hoping that the Lions pull the upset over KC ring chaser Ryan team. And it's probably going to happen anyways. It's our time, as Rick Marcus talks about. Will the ring chaser please stand up? Throwing some Slim Shady out there. And Rick says, hey, Ryan, can you sing me the Chiefs song?
No, I don't do the whole, I don't do any of that. I'm too old for that crap. So
I can't stand that. Honest to God, that's the one thing I can't stand.
The kickoff, that play the game, it's over. That's good enough for me.
That's
Yeah,
just,
well, they stole it. They stole it from FSU because FSU's been doing it for a lot longer than Chiefs even have been around, man. So
and I think the Atlanta Braves at one point did it too, or the Cleveland Indians, or I don't remember. So
and now
it's just to do this,
hold on.
just to, just to do this.
Hang on. Now, if we're gonna do things right here, they're the Guardians. They shouldn't even be the Guardians. Just like you have DCU should go back to being the Redskins. I don't understand why it's such controversy. Just go back. Be the Redskins. We're beating you anyways, so it really doesn't make it. And not okay. Once again, I have to explain myself in this new society. We're not beating you as in physically. We're talking about as far as on the football field. Let me get that straight before someone sends me a message saying, "Oh, you can't be talking about beating
well,
anybody." So, but anyways, I digress. As Ryan loves
I'm so offended by you saying that.
to yeah, I'm pretty sure someone will. Sean says he knows that Cowboys chant, I bet.
Yeah,
I never got into like the chant stuff and whatever. I just take me to the game, put me in the seat, let me watch the football game, then I go home.
All right, well, that'd be easy enough.
Angel and I can sing you a few bars of the Eagles fight song if you want to.
I'm sure I'll hear it enough on Sunday.
You sure will. You sure will. And you might hear another anthem. I got to find it. You might hear another anthem out there as well that a lot of people love to hear. And I won't say it because I don't know if there's children watching, so I will keep it PC for the moment. But Ryan, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Okay. And I'm just saying it might come on, it may not. I'm just putting it out there. So those who are sensitive, I will say, if you're coming out on Sunday, bring some earplugs, cotton candy. I don't know what else to tell you, but it's going to be a good group. It's a rowdy group, but nevertheless, it is fun. But speaking of as well, Rick Marcus says the chant goes "Fly Eagles Fly" on the road to victory. But we'll leave it for Sunday. We'll leave it for Sunday because I don't want to get burned out from it, but we'll leave it for Sunday. No, but listen, Mike, the other thing as well, and the reason why I have you on the line here is because in 3 weeks, we will also have the Bird Gang from Philly Sports Trips all traveling down here to the Clearwater area. And there's a big event that's going to be going on at Coco's on the Beach and also the tailgate party. David Akers also will be at the tailgate party on Monday. So if you guys have not purchased tickets, or is the tailgate event already sold out, Mikey?
I believe that it is not, but I'm under the impression that there are no more tickets left for the game, but I couldn't swear to that. But they're danger close. He bought several hundred tickets,
right?
And Vince Papale will be with Akers at the thing on the beach too.
Yes, that's on Saturday, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Yeah. So, by the way, 97.5, they will be here as well. So there'll be a lot going on at Coco's at the Beach. You guys make sure you follow Philly of the South, the Facebook page. They will have the most current, up-to-date information that's going on there in about 3 weeks when the Eagles come down and take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. It's funny because you would think there'd be a lot of controversial talk here in Tampa Bay about Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. It's been quite crickets like. I don't think, and Mike, you've been on here long enough as well. I just couldn't see that Kyle Trask was going to be the starting quarterback, especially when you have a veteran like Baker Mayfield who's trying to prove himself with a chip on his shoulder. But who thought in the right mind for the Bucs that Kyle Trask was going to get the starting job?
I have a couple of Buck fans that I know, and they thought so, but they're not as passionate of a fan base as the Eagles are, and so it doesn't get a whole lot of airplay. But it's the new NFL. They mortgage their future. They won a Super Bowl, so they can go back and hug that all they want. And now they're going to have a couple of rough years, which makes me think that if Howie could run for president, he might win because the guy is just a miracle worker. And if you don't have a strong front office anymore in the new league, you don't have anything. You got to know how to, move every nickel and dime and whatever they do. Because I think the Eagles are stronger than they were last year, and they were damn good last year. but that's a lot of credit to Howie and the staff that they put together behind the scenes. So
yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm also going to kill my co-host, as once again I get to see his nose, his chin, and his shirt. Oh, brother. There you go, hero.
I'm trying, man. Hey, got to give me an A for effort here.
Yeah, I know. If that helicopter that's still hovering over you would actually stop your phone from sliding, it'd be a great thing. Well, listen.
Yeah, now you're dead on. We can see your beautiful face now.
Also, as we kind of briefly had talked about it in the beginning of the show, as far as the intro, how about Ryan? Joey Burrow, 5 years, $275 million with the Cincinnati Bengals. Is it too soon to pay that man that kind of money, or do the Bengals really see that big potential within him, I guess?
Well, I mean, he's led you to a Super Bowl. He's led you to a couple of AFC championship games. So is anybody really worth that kind of money? I mean, I don't know. He has the supporting cast around him.
Right.
He doesn't seem to get flustered at all. He throws a pick. It's the same demeanor. He scores a touchdown. It's the same demeanor. It's like that business-like approach that he learned, and he's been through adversity. He got beat out of Ohio State.
Right.
He went to LSU. He flourished. He wins a national title. He sets all kinds of records. He goes to Cincinnati. He gets hurt his first year. I mean, a brutal injury. He comes back, and yeah, I mean, maybe Mike agrees. If some owner is willing to pay that kind of coin to somebody, then more power to you. Everybody thought that Patrick Mahomes' contract for the $500 million for 10 years was insane, and now we have this with Joe Burrow. I mean, I think he's probably worth the money for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's done a lot of great things in the last 3-4 years that he's been there, and I expect nothing different this year. I think he leads them really, really far this year. I will keep that a secret until possibly later on. But yeah, man, if somebody's willing to pay that coin, then do it. You see Chris Jones sitting up in that freaking the skybox. You can own a skybox. I said this before about Chris Jones. He should take a page out of what Mike Evans is doing. Mike Evans has said, look, if we don't get a deal done by this Sunday, I'm still going to play. I'm still going to show up to practices. I'm still going to give it my all, and hopefully a deal will get done at some point. I think that's really kind of arrogant on Chris Jones's part. Hey, I'm going to sit in this luxurious skybox, and I'm going to watch the team that I won a Super Bowl with play on the field while I'm sitting up here. That's not a good look as far as I'm concerned.
It's not, but then again, this is what the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, this is what Major League Sports have created. And it started with, I mean, it's gone even further back, but if you take that goofball that used to be with the Dallas Cowboys, that running back that I always said he wasn't the end all to be all or anything else for that matter, went to Mexico and basically told the team, oh, don't worry, I'm just going to lounge out here until I get my money. And where is he? Well, not with the Death Blue Star anymore, because apparently now I believe he went up there to New England. But Joey B said that Joe Burrow got $219 million guaranteed. It must be really nice. He also says the Bengals better draft Texas, Georgia, and Alabama offensive linemen. So, I mean, it was a big step up by the Bengals this year. I would 100% agree. And Joey says, is it me or does the Neff look like Dan Campbell, head coach of the Lions? That's it. Hopefully he comes back or he can hear us. That's probably a dead on, Joey. And let's see. Ryan might be popping back in here. Did you get to hear Joey B's comment?
That's like the third person that said that to me today for some reason. I don't think I look like Dan Campbell, but
you do.
I wish I made the money that he did. I wish I made the money that he did.
May not be a bad thing. But that,
well, at least you, Ryan, at least you got your skybox to sit in, right?
Yeah. With you see the helicopter still waiting for me. above me.
Exactly.
My private helicopter.
Yeah. That's still exact. They're still hovering over you. And by the way, in case you guys are joining us here at the bottom of the hour, we thank you for listening in on broadSTSouth.com, also on Sports Radio 102.9 The Game, on AMP Radio, and of course on YouTube as well. 4 different ways you can watch and see the show, along with our guest on Sunday, Ronnie Gent, former Cincinnati Bengal, former New Orleans Saint, and former Philadelphia Eagle, the tight end, will be with us on location, and also Monica from the Roger and JP show from 102.5 The Bone. So if you guys live here in the St. Pete area, you guys can listen to her every Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. So Monica will be joining us out there. She's going to give us her take on what her Buffalo Bills will do on Monday night against the lonely New York Jets. And speaking of, as I segue into that one, and Mikey, I'll start with you on the phone here. Does anybody believe what Aaron Rodgers is spewing out there in New York, or how long before he turns into Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay?
I don't know. He's just not wrapped too tight, man. It's, I don't know. I don't know what to make of him. He's like all over the place, and it seems to be all about him. But then you see this stuff on the TV and stuff about, he's a change guy and he's happy to be there and blah, blah, blah. But I think the light will get too big for him, like it always does, and it's basically his fault, nobody else's. And he'll probably revert back to the old the old Aaron Rodgers, unless the Jets and a change of scenery can really, make it happen for him. Because, if he keep his mouth shut, he's a pretty good quarterback. But, I've just never been a big fan of him because he seems to be kind of iffy all the time.
Well, of course. Well, and that's a big question. And then with Hard Knocks at the very end of it, I still don't understand. First of all, he went on this retreat in his room of darkness, whatever it was, so he could try and find himself. And I don't know, at the age of 106, he's still trying to find himself. So it's beyond me on that one. But then he talks about that there was they were at practice or something like that, and they saw a UFO up in the sky, and it was some crazy light, this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh boy, it didn't take him long before he wanted to go back down to that route. But Ryan, what say you as far as when it comes to and I guess I'll be nice, the man that he called the Aaron Rodgers?
To be quite honest with you, I thought he'd go to San Francisco or Miami in the offseason. I don't know what was so attractive about New York. Big stage, big market, one of the biggest markets in the world. So, but with the slew of running backs that he has now, they have a decent wide receiver core. Offensive line's a little iffy. But, if they rotate all those running backs and it takes all the pressure off of him, I call him the Mushroom Man now because he's like big in the shrooms now. And, he went to the Taylor Swift concert and, you see he was having a good time with the Taylor. He was probably whacked out of his mind, So, yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
And just like that, Ryan disappears. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers got to him and cut off his feed. So much for that one.
Hey, Taylor Swift's a big Eagles fan too. So,
oh yeah, extremely huge. So, hey, listen, I'm not gonna. She has done so many right things that if she's done wrong things, she's like one of those folks that she can almost. I'm not gonna say she's perfect, but she can almost do no wrong because the only artist that I've ever known that she gave out some healthy bonus checks because obviously the ensembles she put together for anyone, and I didn't go to their shows, but from what I've understand from people that have been there, have put on such a tremendous show. And not only that, but the stage handlers, because there's a lot of work that goes into it, and the selling of the merchandise. But before she went overseas, she handed out some nice, and a lot of them, from what I understand, was close to 6-figure bonuses. So, Taylor knows how to take care of folks. So I can't really mock her for what she's done. And obviously to recreate a lot of the, oh boy, Joey B's got a good one here. But I got to bring this up. Joey B says, Nest internet connection, excuse me, is like the prison escape in Pennsylvania can be found. Leave it up to Joey B. I'm going to leave that one up there a little bit for everybody. Leave it up to Joey B. Oh, man. That's a good one. I'll have to leave it up there. So if we can find Ryan F's connection, And that's also bizarre to me.
Maybe Angel, maybe you should give Ryan like one of those hefty Taylor Swift bonus checks so he can get a decent internet connection.
Possibly so. He might have used his Western Union card. Maybe his minutes were up on his Western Union card, and that's why he can't get a connection anymore. But we'll wait till he comes back up there. I'll leave the comment up there until he comes back. By the way, also joining us on the line here is the president and CEO of Philly of the South, Mike Klein, doing an outstanding job with Michelle. I mean, again, the support for Philly of the South is really second to none. Every day, I will say, at least when I check my email, it's got to be between 14 to 15 folks almost on a daily basis just wanting to join Philly to South Facebook page. And if you guys can do us a favor also, take a look at Philly to South. Make sure you like their page. Also here for the show itself, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps out. I am not by any means, I don't make any money off of YouTube, and I'm not going to lie to a whole bunch of folks because I'm not about that. I think I have about 151 people over on YouTube, and I appreciate those 151 that are over there. It'd be nice, sure, to get over 1,000, 10,000, 12,000. That'd be great. But I work hard at what I do. I have fun with it. So even if it was one person, I'm forever grateful if it's one person. So I appreciate everyone who tunes into the show and the support.
That's what it's all about. Your heart's in the right place, man.
I try. Lord knows I try. So, but again, Mikey, we have I can't wait again for Sunday. I also can't wait for when everybody comes down week 3 for the Buccaneers. Hopefully we'll get Ryan. Oh, now his screen went completely black. So maybe the escape prisoner actually got to his internet connection because it went completely dark. Either he went rogue or it went completely dark, one of the two. So I'll switch over until.
Or maybe he's hanging out and doing a Jones on you, man. He's holding out for more money.
Maybe that's what it is. Oh, wait a minute. I think maybe the escape prisoner gave him his internet connection back. He's back again.
He's there. He's not.
Yeah. Well, we were just staring at the helicopter. Now it went away again. So, folks, when you go live, things do happen. Wait, you got a new comment here?
There we go.
Yeah.
Golly day. Woo.
Joey
like
B
falling
says
out of the helicopter.
Apparently. All right. Well, you know what? I'll switch it out once again until he comes back and gets it straightened out. And by the way, if you guys can see up there, the John Kincaid show, John Kincaid, the guy is going through an amazing treatment as far as for treating his cancer. He's doing well. I spoke with him today, doing a great job, the best he possibly can to go through a treatment. His spirits are up. He feels positive. And so if you guys get the opportunity from 6 to 10 in the morning, whether you live in the Philly market or you live outside of Philly market, please listen to the John Kincaid show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I've been big fans of the station for many years. Thankfully, they also follow me here on the social media and here as far as on the station as well. So the John Kincaid show from 6 to 10 in the morning, you guys will not be disappointed. Catch up with the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, the Union, and obviously our beloved Eagles. So from 6 to 10 a.m., the John Kincaid show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Well, I was going to hope to do the weekly picks here with Ryan, but apparently until I have to wait for his Western Union card to get reloaded, apparently that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, well, Mikey, you know what? I'll just go through.
I can do it.
Okay. So you know what?
I already got my lunch money out and about, if you know what I mean.
I sure do. Well, you know what? You can pick for Ryan, even though I think Ryan had put in his picks earlier. But I guess starting with tonight, obviously you got Detroit, Kansas City that's in play right now. I don't even have the score up, so forgive me for not having
it. It's 14-7 Lions at halftime.
All right. Well, before the show had started, which I told Ryan, I had picked the Lions for the win. I don't know. Who'd you go with, Mikey?
I took the Lions in the points.
All right.
I think they're going to win going away, says it too. I think the Lions have a good team.
I think so as well. I mean, they really beefed up this during the draft. Even before the draft started, the Lions were looking to really step up their defense, which they did. Obviously, a couple of former Eagles that are over there as well. So the Lions, listen, it's been a lot of jokes, obviously, in the Motor City for many, many years, but the Lions are moving in the right direction. I mean, they are really making leaps and bounds. So from all the jokes that we have had before, I mean, the Browns, for the longest time, everybody knows, they had the brown bags over them. Now we'll see what happens with Deshaun Watson. That's a whole different story. But nonetheless, Detroit is really making leaps and bounds out there. So if those who liked to laugh and all at the Lions. The Lions could play spoilers towards the mid part of the season, especially when teams are looking to make that playoff push towards a lot of part of the season. So, all right. So Detroit, and I believe Ryan had talked about it before too, before he got off, unless his phone died, but he also picked Detroit. So next game up would be Carolina at Atlanta.
Once again, I think the Panthers are on the up and coming, and I can't really figure out what Atlanta's been drinking. They've been pretty bad for a long time, so I would see Carolina winning that game.
Yeah, same here. Atlanta, for some reason, decided out of all the things, they just need help all around. During the draft, they picked the best running back. You don't have a line. What was the point of going with the best running back? That running back is, God bless him, because he got drafted. But you're not going to make a difference until 4 or 5 years from now when they actually hopefully have a line. It doesn't make any sense what Atlanta did, but they didn't do too much during the offseason as well. So I don't understand that one. Next one being the Joey Burrow, $219 million guaranteed Bengals at the Cleveland Browns.
Could be an interesting game, but the Bengals have become, over the last few years, much more focused, and they seem to have filled in a lot of the blanks. And the one thing that they did that was very similar to the Eagles. Remember when the Eagles they had the second pick in the draft and everybody wanted Ricky Williams and blah, blah, blah. And I remember we were at this draft day party at the old Bilmar Station where that was the original home of Philly of the South. And I was the only person in the whole Eagles group of 50 that I said, we got to take a quarterback, and everybody wanted a running back. And you're right. And I think the Bengals use a little bit of that formula because, the running back is kind of a luxury, but you have to have a solid quarterback and a solid kicker. And the Eagles got Akers a couple of years later, and he was there forever. And Donovan, people say what you want, but I think he was probably one of the best Eagle quarterbacks of all time. And so the Bengals, like I said, have kind of used that blueprint. And the Browns are still kind of in disarray. I don't know. They just can't seem to pull it together. So I would go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't see as much as the Browns. And again, I'm not going to mock the Browns too much because they have been trying. They have legitimately been trying to build around the entire team. But I just don't see where the Browns would end up taking over from the Bengals. So for me, it's easy when it comes to that game. It would be Cincinnati. And then you have our former Super Bowl winning head coach down there in Jacksonville against the Indianapolis. They are a mess Colts. So I would say that's an easy one.
Yeah, it's the Jags.
Yeah. And I feel, listen, Doug, I think Doug is, God, he could be the one to finally take Jacksonville over that hill they've been trying to climb. Yes, they made it to the Super Bowl once, but I think Dougie might end up doing a job down there. Obviously, he took that team to leaps and bounds last year, the way it ended it. So, good things are happening at Jacksonville. I can't even. I used to say everybody goes to Jacksonville to retire and or die, but they're not doing anymore. Maybe the Colts took over that one. I mean, because it's a mess in India. Listen, Colts fans, sorry. I'm just telling you guys the absolute truth because I have no idea what your organization is doing other than falling apart at the seams. But also you have now the local Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Ought to be interesting, but Minnesota, I think they'll win that game pretty handily. And then they'll get off to a 5-1 start, and then the wheels will fall off like they do every year.
Yeah.
Of course, they got to come to Philly week 2, and they're gonna get tattooed on Thursday night, but that's all right.
I think so. And by the way, speaking of, I missed obviously being back in Philly for Fan Fest, and I did hear that Nick Foles obviously being out there, and he really got the crowd going crazy, and he says kind of hinted could he be back in Philly? Now obviously it's not on a playing capacity, but who knows what he ended up doing. So it was a teaser that was thrown out there. For those who supported FanFest and 97.5, I do appreciate it as well. And by the way, Haley, the morning producer from from the John K Show. If you guys visit broadcastsouth.com, you guys can hear Haley's podcast that's available on the radio station side. Also, she does work for the St. Louis Blues. Haley doing great things with Haley's Hot Takes that you guys can hear right here on Sports Radio 102.9 The Game. So thanks to Haley for doing that as well. But now the next one being the Tennessee Titans versus the New Orleans Saints. And this one actually, that's about almost a dead even. I don't know what the point spread is there, but it can't be that big. Joey, I don't know if you're still on the line here with us on the show, but I don't know what the point spread is, but I would think, man, that's a tough one. I might have to edge that one out to the Saints.
Yeah, me too. Hey, and one more cross point. I think that it's worth knowing. I saw a little video online or whatever, but for that Fan Fest day, I think that was the open practice. They had 55,000 people in the stands.
They sure did. That? Yep, I did see that.
That is heart and soul, buddy. And that was really there was somebody just did a pan of the stadium. It was kind of cool, but I think the Saints are like a 1 point favorite in that. It's almost to push them. And once again, Tennessee, they always seem to. I mean, people don't realize, man, that trade that the Eagles made for Brown from Tennessee. I mean, they set their whole organization back 5 years, and they seem to do that all the time. And so they have some problems with stability as well. And the Saints could be on a decent uptick, man. I think with the David Carr getting a change of scenery and going to the Big Easy and getting out of Vegas, that might be there might be something there.
There might be. Joey B always coming through. He says the Saints are -3 favorites. So that's why I knew it was going to be a close one. It had to be.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's good. And Rick Marcus says the early games for Tampa are CBS Tampa versus Minnesota, late game Miami at LA Chargers, and of course Tampa Joe's to see Eagles beat down New England. We hope so because again, and we'll get to it here momentarily, but I think this might be, depending what the Pats end up doing this year, it might be a coaching change. I think Belichick, I mean, there's only so many times you can cheat, and I don't care who argues with me. Say whatever you want to there, Pats fans. You guys know the actual truth, okay? So let's get that one out there. Matter of fact, as soon as Belichick retires, I will have him here on the show so he can finally admit how much he cheated. Of course, I'm talking out of a straw here because
make that a pay-per-view show, man.
Yeah, if I can make that happen, believe me, that would be absolutely insane. Joey B also says that the Saints will be without Kamara, and that is explosive on offense. Well, yeah, good point. I still think, though, Joey, I think the Saints still pull it off over Tennessee. But we'll see. We'll see what happens any given Sunday. Next one up, we have the 49ers at the other Pennsylvania team, the Steelers.
The crybabies.
Yeah,
that's interesting. At the Steelers, I think I didn't bet on that game, but I think the Steelers have a shot at winning that. They seem to have they had a pretty good preseason. They not that means a whole lot, but they they got great coaching and a good organization behind their players, and they've gotten a lot younger. And this kid from Pittsburgh that plays quarterback for them is, he's damn good, and he's only going to get better. So I think I don't know what the spread is on that. Probably Pittsburgh's like maybe a 5 point favorite, I would guess. And I could see them winning. San Francisco, it's still kind of a team in flux, and it's easy to say that for week one, but they they I don't know. They seem to have a bunch of issues, and then they finally just threw a pile of money at what's his name on the defensive line, and made him shut up. But I don't know. They really didn't do a whole lot in the offseason.
Well, once again, it's one of those things, asking you shall receive, because Joey B comes through and says 49ers are -2 favorites at Steelers. I like the Steelers at home. It seems to be pretty much a consensus because it seems like everybody really is picking the Steelers. Again, the controversy, what it was with San Fran, they decided to remain with the quarterback that wasn't a starter to start off the season last year. But, again, just like in San Fran, history. They have not put things together since the last time they won a Super Bowl. So yes, they've been there, but unfortunately, I mean, San Fran's they're a little disarray. Good organization, just a little bit disarray. And Joey B also said that Belichick broke up with his girlfriend this week. The Eagles 44 and the Pats 10. I'm a Giants fan saying this, which is actually true. Joey B is a Giants fan. So, and the Giants, I think, you know what? Giants this year, another thing in the NFC East, I'm not knocking the Giants. The Giants as well have shown a lot of, I don't want to, I can say faith, but they've shown a lot of depth, a lot of growth. So I'm not going to mock the Giants because the Giants are definitely finally contenders here in the NFC East. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And the line just updated, says 49ers minus 2.5. So by Joey B as we coming up here at the end of the show. But you also have now Arizona at DCU.
The Cardinals are just a mess.
Yep.
That's a fire sale out there. I don't see them having a chance in that game, and they overpaid for Murray. He's not that good, but now they're stuck with him, and they wrote him a check. And once again, the new NFL is not about just the players you got on the roster. It's about the organization and who your general manager is and how well they function behind the scenes. And the Cardinals can't do that, and that's their downfall.
Yep. Also, could someone just let me know what in the world was Kyler Murray thinking wearing a sports bra on the practice field? I swear, I don't get it. Honest to God, I don't get it. Joey B says the Commanders are -7 favorite over the Cardinals. So that's my pick. Is obviously it's and I listen, as much as I like to tease Washington, please go back to being the Redskins. Just stop. I mean, you have one of the members from the local tribe down there. They said they liked it when they represented the Redskins because at least what they don't have anymore in the area, at least they were recognized by keeping the Redskins name. So I hope DCU, if you're listening, and by the way, for those if you're new to the show and you don't understand what DCU is, it is the District Columbia University. When they changed their name from the Commanders, I changed it over to DCU because until they get their act together, thankfully the owner's gone. We'll see what happens. And speaking of, oh boy, see, I can go on a roll here, and we got to finish up these picks, also finish up the show. But by the way, Sixers fans, the owner, don't get too freaking upset because obviously he's already been partaking in a couple of drinks down there in DC. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over there. Joey B says the Florida Seminoles been told to change their mascot. Florida State, yep. So, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. It's ridiculous.
No, that'll never happen.
No, especially not down here in Florida.
That's the best advertisement the Seminoles have, man. I mean,
sure is. All right, we're going to try to get through these here real quick as we're already coming up on the hour. But we also have Houston at Baltimore.
Once again, Houston doesn't have enough guns. That should be a pretty easy W for the Ravens.
Yep.
With that ridiculous logo that looks like the Roadrunner got run over by a truck on the side of their helmet. I would never wear something like that, man.
Well, I don't know. Well, supposedly, I don't know. Again, I think it's the Titans. I'm almost certain the Titans are at one point, they're supposed to bust out the old Oilers logo. So we'll see what happens there. Joey B gives us the update there. Ravens under 9.5 favorites over Houston, -9.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points, man.
Yep. Oh, look who shows up. The Godfather, the ring chaser. Listen, Fuji, the ring chaser, apparently he didn't reload his Western Union card. So therefore, we can't see him up there. But yeah, so Godfather, don't worry. He was here, but he's been gone. Mike Klein is on the phone with me. But good to see the Godfather here with us. Joey B, Fuji. So it's good to see the Godfather join us here as well. But yeah, listen. The ring chase already he's done around, Fuji. So we'll see what happens. Apparently he lost his connection or something else. Oh, hold on, Fuji. If you're still with us, let me explain to you the reason why. Joey B had a great line earlier. He said that Neff's internet connection is like the prison escapee in Pennsylvania. It can't be found. which is true. Joey was on to something earlier. Fuji says, "What's up? Did Fuji find the escapee yet?" So what's good, Mike and Joey B from Fuji. So this is where the show will get really interesting here, the latter part of it. But the next one being Green Bay at Chicago.
Green Bay at Chicago.
Yep.
I'm kind of leaning towards the Packers because I think the Bears still have a little bit of growing up to do. They're getting better, but they still make a lot of mental mistakes that really should be cleaned up at the pro level. And so from that standpoint, and I think the Packers, they got a fresh start, and maybe Aaron talked about a fresh start with the Jets, but maybe that's what that team needs. Love looked pretty decent in preseason, and that's really all you got to go on as relates to him. So I think the Packers could win that game.
I would like to say that they would, and we'll see what happens with Jordan Love. I think finally now he's getting the opportunity. I think it ended up happening. Green Bay obviously moving on from Aaron Rodgers. That should have been about 3 years ago, honestly. But I think for me, I think the Bears right now look just a tad bit better than the Packers. So I'm going to go with the Bears on that one. The Godfather also says he's going with the Bears. Joey B says, Fuji, come back, man. Got to make a guest appearance here every now and then. And Sean follows up with him and a fugitive, meaning Ryan F. And a fugitive are chiming in on Longwood Gardens. Poor kids can't go to school because of it. Yeah, that's just a mess. I'm not even going to get into that one. That was it. And if anybody saw the way, yep.
Who's Debbie picking?
The Bears. Come, Jesus! If I were even say the Packers, she would end up killing me. It's the Bears.
I just want to make sure. She needs some equal time. Maybe she's got a podcast too, but no.
Yep.
But she's my favorite Bears fan on the whole planet. If that makes her feel better.
Exactly. Joey B says Bears 1-point favorites over the Packers. Joey B says I miss your comments, my man. And someone else is chiming in here. De los Osos. And Osos, by the way, you guys are the Bears. So, sí, estamos hablando de los Osos. Sean Corinne says Bears all day. And yes, it is Bears all day. At least that's the way I see it. Except for Mikey. Mikey says it's a Packer, so we'll see. Let's see. Moving on would be the Las Vegas Raiders against the Denver Broncos.
Who's the quarterback for the Raiders now?
Oh man, what's his name? Formerly from the 49ers. Oh my God.
Robertson?
No.
The guy that we tattooed in the playoffs?
No. From former Patriot, got tossed away from New England, went over to Jimmy G. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Boy, yeah, that would be interesting. Just as kind of a flip them for me, but I would say that whoever the home team is, like I guess they're playing in Las Vegas, so would go with the Raiders.
You're going the Raiders, all right? So I'll put you down there for the Raiders. And Joey B says for as far as the odds, Broncos are the favorites by 3.5.
Huh.
So I mean, listen,
well, they got to wake up sometime, man. They only won 5 games last year.
Well, now you also have what you call it. You have now Sean Payton over there in Denver, and he's going to try and straighten things out. So we'll see what happens over there in Denver. Joey B says take the Raiders in a 3.5. For me, also, I'm just taking the Raiders as well. Denver, I think, still has some work to do. By all means, Sean's taking Denver, Joey's taking Denver. I didn't see the Godfather who's taking on that one. And then now, of course, I'll leave our team here for the very end, even though we all know who's going to win that game. Russell Wilson will resurrect his career coming from the Godfather. Listen, Fuji, I think so. It could happen. Who knows? And by the way, we're into overtime here on the show. Normally, we're running for about an hour, about 4 minutes into overtime here. But Fuji, I agree. I think he will. With Sean Payton, he will. I think it will definitely happen. And Fuji, the Godfather, is taking Denver as well. Rick Marcus takes the Raiders as we're going through here, fast and furious. Then you got also the Miami Dolphins versus the LA Chargers. And by the way, God bless Jimmy Buffett. Speaking about the Fins, no one knew that what he was fighting, he was battling. So God bless Jimmy Buffett. Many great hits. And I can't say enough for a man who gave back a lot to the community. I will say that much. So, Mikey, Dolphins versus the LA Bolts.
Where is it at? Miami?
It would be in LA.
LA. I'll take the Chargers.
Yeah,
That West Coast, East Coast thing is always a big thing with the games.
It is. I mean, and again, now here's a question for everybody who's watching right now. Mikey is taking the Bolts as well. Rick taking the Bolts. Joey B, I'm waiting to see who he's going to take. Sean takes the Bolts as well. So, and if Joey could find the line there for that game, it would be Miami versus the Chargers. Here we go. Joey B already has it. Chargers -3 favorites hosting the Fins. So,
yeah.
So Chargers on that one. So that one's across the board. And I was going to bring up a point here when it came down to Miami and LA, and I just quickly forgot what it was, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back to me before the end of the show. Then we have the LA Rams at Seattle Seahawks. So, and Joey B says Chargers all day. So Rams versus the Seahawks.
Seattle.
Do you think?
Yeah, the Rams aren't that good. Cooper Kupp's out. Stafford's kind of on the downslide of his career. And Seattle, they're strong at home, man. They got a good fan base, and they always seem to kick our ass when they need to. So I'll go with them.
So, okay. I want to make this comment out there, and thank you for everyone who's tuned in still here on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game, over on AMP Radio, of course, right here on YouTube and on BroadSDSouth.com. I do appreciate it all and everybody's support. To throw it out there, when it comes to Seattle and LA, was that a fluke that the Rams won the Super Bowl just a couple years ago? Just again, call it coincidental because another team that happened to win at home. Obviously, Tom Brady did it down here in Tampa Bay, but was it a fluke that these guys ended up winning a Super Bowl just shy 2 years ago?
No, because once again, like we've been talking about, it's a different league now, man. And a lot of these teams, it's win now. Nobody really builds like, my day when I was growing up, you could be the number one pick at a quarterback and you carried a clipboard for 2 years before they even tested you. Now it's a win now league, and it's, very money driven, and teams are willing to risk it all. Once again, they can turn around and walk back to the locker room and they got a Super Bowl trophy in there to hug, and that's what it's all about. So it might have been a couple of years ago. Maybe they won't be that great for a while, but LA, man, they mortgaged a shit pot of stuff, man.
They did.
Between losing draft picks and, not being consistent with their players and going out and signing people like the guy they got from the Jaguar, Ramsey, at the corner, and paying him a pile of money. And if you don't know how to manage that correctly, that'll kill you. But I really don't see the Rams doing much of anything this year.
All right. Well, as the boys here are picking, we have between, let's see, Sean has Seattle, Rick Marcus the Seahawks, Joey B says that Seattle is the -5 favorites. The Godfather says Seattle will challenge the 49ers for the West. And Joey B says pick 6 by Lions. Wow. I'm missing out on that game, but that's a good one. Again, everybody so far, I think tonight picked the Lions as well. Rick says Detroit interception for TD. Now it's all 14-all. So Detroit just tied it up with an interception for TD. So I'm getting the updates here live. The Godfather says Rams, no number 1 draft picks. The rookie quarterbacks are thrown to the fire. The Lambs sold their soul to the devil. Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. So the 3 more games left here on the slate. The Cowboys at New York. I will never pick Dallas, so I'm going with the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's some knowledgeable information.
Hey, you're welcome.
I know. Yeah, I think the Giants can beat them too.
Dallas says, listen,
it's a good bet because I think you get 3.5 if you go with the Giants, and they're at home, and Dallas usually isn't that strong, at the start of the season. So New York's a good pick.
It is. Plus, Dallas really hasn't done anything. That team is that's another mess. They are the Colts Junior of the Colts. That I'm just going to say that right now. Dallas fans, God bless you for the season because you guys are a mess. And what you guys show on paper is not what. And usually, I will say this much. Normally, Dallas does draft well. Not so much this year at all. So we'll see. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets.
Wow, that ought to be good. I'm going to go with the Jets just because they're going to be probably more amped up, and if that can translate down to the field, I think that'll be a W for New York.
It will be. It will be, but unfortunately, it's going to be the Bills all day for me. I don't think New York, as much as all the hype is behind New York at this point, I don't see it. So for me, I think the Bills will really impress everyone. I just don't see the Jets just because they have Aaron Rodgers, and it won't take long. Believe me, folks, it's you guys are going to see Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay by week 2. It is going to be absolutely insane. Joey B with the odds here says Buffalo -2.5 favorites on the road at the Jets. And the only reason why the Jets are getting a Monday night game at the start of the season, just because it's Aaron Rodgers. That's the only reason why it's happening. Rick chooses the Bills. Sean with the Bills. We'll see with the Godfather. I'm pretty sure he'll end up choosing the Bills as well. Joey B, Bills 33, Jets 21. And we're waiting to see what the Godfather says. As the final game, obviously the most important game for those of us who are Eagles fans, Eagles versus, the Godfather says the Billies. Eagles versus the New England Patsies. Mike, what say you?
Oh, well, just like you never bet against the Cowboys, I never bet against the Eagles. So you can mark me down with the EAGLES on that one.
Indeed. I think everybody across the board here, maybe Joey, because obviously being a Giants fan, we're in the same division. Godfather says, go Birds, EAGLES, Eagles. Lord knows we're going to hear a lot of chants. Sean says the same thing. Rick, I'm quite sure the same way. Joey B says Eagles -4.5 favorites, 44-10. They blow out the Pats. Listen, I think Joey's onto something. It may end up happening. So we'll see what ends up happening as we coming here to the close end of the show. Rick Marcus, Eagles by 9. In case you guys are just tuning in and missed out on the earlier announcements, first of all, hungry dogs run faster. That is so true, Sean. What will be at Tampa Joe's this Sunday at 425? First of all, we'll have my co-host Ryan F. will be there this Sunday. Along with that, we will have Ronnie Gent, the former Cincinnati Bengal, New Orleans Saints, and obviously Philadelphia Eagle, the tight end. Our NFL analyst will be there as well. And from the Roger and JP show that you guys can hear weekdays from 5:30 to 9 in New York, and then here in the St. Pete area from 11 to 2 in the afternoon, it will be Monica from the Roger and JP show from 102.5 The Bone, who is a big Bills fan. She will be out there joining us on Sunday. So a lot of folks are going to be out there. And the teaser that I talked about earlier today as well, coming up next Thursday night at 8 o'clock, September 14th, Misha Johnson will be joining me here on the show next Thursday. So if you guys want to catch up with Misha, you guys know that she was out there with CBS Philly once upon a time back in Philadelphia. She will be with me here on the network on next Thursday night. So Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Misha Johnson will be with us. Mikey, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I do appreciate you being on the line with me on the Philly Sports Trips hotline, which I forgot to mention earlier. So thanks for being with me. To everyone who tuned in, also for my producer over in Studio B, Brian, I guess he must be with the AKP because he didn't come back. So I don't know what happened to Ryan, unfortunately. But thank you for everyone. Fuji, the Godfather, Joey B, Rick, Marcus, Sean, and the one Spanish person that we had in there. Gracias por viniendo. So I don't know what happened. I guess they disappeared. I'm not too sure. Maybe they tuned out. But thank you to everyone who listened here on Sports Radio 102.9 FM The Game, over on AMP Radio, right on YouTube, also on broadscsouth.com. Finishing up with the comments here is Joey B says, great show as always. Have a great evening. Thank you, Joey B, for not only being here last night, for coming back again tonight. Don't forget to stop by on Sunday as well. Rick Marcus says, go Birds. And Joey B, as always, says, bye, Debbie, in Studio B. Again, I appreciate everyone. I appreciate our sponsors. Tampa Joe's, more importantly, 9316 Anderson Road in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Hop, skip, and a jump over from the airport. So if you're stopping by, please stop by at Tampa Joe's. Also, Philly Sports Trips. If you guys want to travel with the pros, travel with Philly Sports Trips, as Vince Rizzuto puts an amazing package together for all Philly events. Visit phillysportstrips.com and see what's going on across the board. Also, to Penguin Pretzels, if you guys are looking for the most delicious tasting pretzels, please visit penguinpretzels.com. They are right here in Newport Richey, and stop by their location on Little Road on Pretzels to Go. You guys can just put together an amazing plethora of great pretzels, so stop by there as well. Also, if you're attending a game down there at Tropicana Field, the support from Krabby's Beachside and Turtle down there, those guys, thank you so much for supporting the show as well. Stop by, grab your crab pretzel that's made by Penguin Pretzels down there at Tropicana Field. This weekend, Seattle is home with the Rays. So if you guys are going down there, please stop by Krabby's Beachside Bites down there on the concourse level. Also, Hat Tricks. They are selling the Tampa Bay, Mikey, you gotta see this lightning logo pretzel they have over there. It is absolutely amazing, made by Penguin Pretzels. So if you guys are going to a game, stop by Hat Tricks down there in Tampa, Florida as well. Sean, thank you, says good show. Fuji, go Birds. Hi, Deb. And Sean ends it with EAGLES, Eagles. Mikey, once again, thank you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight.
No problem.
And everyone, we will see you out there on Sunday. Go Birds. Once again, thank you for everyone just making this show amazing. Thank you for the support. We really do appreciate it. And with that being said, we can't thank you enough for your love, your support. And who knows who else will be stopping by on Sunday. So I'll leave that one as a teaser. So with that being said, I'm Angel Martinez. It's been episode 199, episode 200, the mile-making episode. As we roll into season 4, will happen this Sunday at 4:25. The show will be live at 2 p.m. with all the guests that I announced earlier, including, yes, Mike Klein himself will be down with Michelle Henley and the rest of the Philly of the South gang. So with that being said, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and go Birds.